Hi everyone. We're here about the PlanetSide 2 Sony thing. I just thought I was just gonna pump this out really quick, do one take, really quick thing, no editing, nothing. I usually just do normal commentary, not even no commentary gameplay of Helldivers 2. I've played a lot of other games in my time, but this one, with a lot of people, this game is very much a game a lot of us love, and so with that in mind, I was like, I'm not just gonna, sit around and wait for someone else to talk about it or explain like what the real issue here is. And what I feel the real issue is we have given a lot of support to this company, and we give a very heavy insinuation that we want everyone to be able to play this game. That there should be no things like if they had to, like if they sold the IP to Sony, I feel like they should have rebought that IP at whatever cost. I feel like the community would be more than willing to shell out more money to help them rebuy the IP if Sony is the one holding them back. And I feel that because everyone wanted people on Xbox to also be playing this, and because, as we like to say, we need more Helldivers. So, with all this in mind, what has occurred today is just been a complete blindside to everyone. Even people who are familiar with the game development studios and all that, like Pirate Software, even he was blindsided by this. And so it's just like stuff like this. It's like the linking update just completely blindsided half of us because we assumed that they were actually going to fade away from this and maybe make a new kind of in between server for all the things so that you didn't necessarily need an account from any one of the things. Like you didn't necessarily need a Steam account, or you didn't need a Xbox or a PlayStation. It would just be a Helldiver account or whatever. Just so you could even also just like if you're like playing on PC and PlayStation, your progress would be accounted for on both platforms, and you can just play whichever one you want. Now here's a big issue. The big issue a lot of people are having is Sony wants you to make an account, but as we know, Sony, as you can see right here, I'm just gonna kind of scroll up so you can just read this all, and I can pause if you want. But Sony is notorious for being horrible with their data. They've been hacked multiple times. Credit card information, personal information, just photos, videos, everything on the account's hacked. So it's like you're just giving another portal to this company to just have some way of getting into your things. Now, obviously, there's other games like League, which just introduced Vanguard. That's a very similar issue, which is getting kernel level access to your computer, which basically means they own it. They can do whatever the hell they want because it is at the lowest level of, lowest or highest, whichever way you want to see it. It's like the highest authority, but the lowest level of access. Now, as you can see, we have Helldivers 2 here. From what I've seen alone, I believe there have been roughly, I think what I know of is 3,000, but I think it's somewhere more around 10 or 15,000 negative reviews in the past 6 hours. And so we have things like this where we are trying to prevent the requirement. Obviously, may refresh it. I think it's gone up from there. Yeah, so it's gone up a few hundred. Obviously, it's not very high right now, but this was created literally an hour ago. So it doesn't shock me too much. I'm guessing this is going to gain more traction as it goes along. I just want to just kind of point out because one, Sony's. So basically, my main points are one, Sony is really bad with data, and that's just a fact. They have been shown to have multiple data breaches in the past. That is my main reason I don't want us to have specifically a Sony account, because it's like, yeah, technically Steam could also get hacked. They aren't really well known for that. But I feel like maybe if with the amount of money we've been giving the Helldivers, even without like the DLCs or anything, just the amount of people buying the game, I feel like they should be able to afford a new separate, like in between from all the different platforms that are playing the game. It would also make it easier to transfer to new platforms too, I'd assume. But not only that, we have, I believe it is 216 countries, including, I believe, Russia, the Philippines, Latvia, like a bunch of different countries. There's also a lot of African and South American countries in that list, in which when this goes live and it becomes required, people in those countries will not be able to play at all. And it is doubtful they'll even get a refund for the game, because the issue is, in those countries, they either have limited or no access to PSN, or it's illegal. And if you're making a PSN account, on a VPN or something equal to that, it's actually against the terms of service for PlayStation, and so you get banned for it. And so it's like, no matter what you do, you can't win. So I just want to point out these kind of little tidbits. I just want to run through it really quick because I just thought it was really important. And a lot of people are like, oh, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. It's like, but this is like the starting point. Like Helldivers 2 has done everything perfectly from beyond before this, and so it's like we need to really dissuade and show that no, this is not acceptable. We don't want this. We don't need this. Like we have the money, we have the funding. We don't care. We should be able to create an entire new system that is much better and much more robust in how it functions and how it works, because we as the players want this. We have been showing support for this, and I have no doubt in my mind people would be willing to literally chuck money at this in order for this to happen, even if like they get no benefits from it in game, because this is just something we want as a community. Now I might just be a little bit out of the loop on that, but I just thought that was something I should say. So yeah, obviously I'm not like the biggest proponent of like the whole thing. So if you feel very strong about this, I would say contact Sony specifically. I'm not saying like bombard them, but I'm saying like just like, send an upset email, like do whatever you have to do. Review bombing, I don't know if that's ever really worked, but like we might as well try. This is definitely another way. Change.org. I'm not really sure what kind of power that would hold. I would assume that maybe we could get some kind of contact into the Sony shareholders and be like, hey, this isn't going to generate any value for you. This is literally going to nuke your value. Like, do not let this happen. Like, yeah, Sony can have a piece of the pie, but that you can only get this piece of the pie because guess what? You're just a platform. Fuck off. I clearly related this to that, but it just pisses me off that we're 3 months into one of what I would call the greatest games of 2024, maybe even earlier. I say that very hesitantly because there's games like Elden Ring, Skyrim, like other games that are very high prestige, but for the amount of publicity, the amount of stuff, like Helldivers 2 has never had anything bad happen to it, so I just feel like we need to stand here. Otherwise, where do we stand? So, with that, thank you for listening. I really want to make this short. I end up rattling on and on. So thank you for listening. But yeah, if you feel strong about this, hit up this change.org. I will have it in the description. I don't know which one I'm pointing. I'll also link the other 3 websites I have here, and also the video I kind of was showing you the ELA from because I thought it was really funny. But yeah, thank you.